Haiping, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. How are you, Lily?
No, I'm well. I'm well. It's so nice to have this variety of courses coming out. Um, and yours is a little bit different to ours. There's some similarities, some differences. I've noticed, especially you're honing in on the transparency area. But why don't you tell us a little bit about your course?
Well, our course is really the objective is to recast some of the classical materials in the perspective of transparency. So we will talk about the transparency issues of many of the classical algorithms, such as linear regression, logistic regression, and we also about the processes such as cross-validation, bootstrap, hypothesis testing, and so on.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. And definitely things that are they're close to my heart because I'm a statistician. Or that's my background.
Oh,
I've
great.
noticed
Yeah.
you've got a lot of AI experience on your end. But it's
The
really interesting.
author of the book, right? So we have tried to recast. It really is statistician, right? You can see that that's a
Yes,
book actually we have tried to recast. It's classic. I really like the book a lot.
absolutely. And I've noticed that there's things that are quite central to your course that we're also trying to draw out as well. So you really dig into these methods a lot more on the kind of data, on the data handling side, the concepts behind them, and you go into a lot more depth than we do, and go through a lot more methods. We kind of look at these key concepts here and there, but you really dig into these methods. What made you feel
Yes,
that this
I
was?
should really give the credit to the author of the book. Actually, we just really it's a repackaging, right? So we can't take too much of the credit. For example, just give you some example where we maybe I can show you some of the examples, right? Linear
Yes,
regression,
yeah,
that's
please do.
classic, right? So linear regression, what we do is for all the algorithms, we will talk about the ingredient in a very consistent, standardized form: input, output, model, loss function, learning algorithm. And we also talk about the system transparency. And in particular, for particular algorithm, we will give an example trying to explain the system transparency. For example, give an example talking about if the input will be some different one than what you get output, and also the other from the other way, that is in order, right? So this in order to get an output, then what will be the input, right? So that's really a inverse problem, trying to explain, make it more transparent. For example, if you want to get some sales, then what should your advertisement budget should be? So this kind of transparency, I think, is embedded in the book, but we make it just more explicit with particular explicit headings to make it very clear, and we try to provide that for all the algorithms. For example, here, I think, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's incredibly useful. It looks very good, and you've got these lovely videos. I started watching a few of them. These videos on explaining, what it. Yes, exactly these ones here.
Yeah, so here we also try to reuse, right? So originally we thought, okay, maybe you can record videos, but that's the cost is high, and we may not be able to do as good as many other YouTubers do, right? So therefore, I think what we did is really trying to reuse those very popular videos online, and those are indeed very helpful, save us lots of time, but the quality is really high, and help us to explain the concept more clearly.
Yeah, no, yeah. Why reinvent the wheel?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
you,
So, yeah.
it's yeah,
Particularly, we
it's
are not likely to do better.
no, it's we like I said, we touched the surface of some bits, but yours is really comprehensive, and it's so nice to see the transparency behind these concepts gone into, and I think
Yeah, I
there's
think one of
actually
the other thing we benefit from Turing is really the differentiation of how to say this is really let me go to here. This is really benefit from Turing's work. That's really try to separate the transparency into system transparency. That's what we usually talk about, and also about the process transparency.
yes,
That's something most students or like beginners will know, and they are not aware of this. But that's, I think, it's as at least as important as the model transparency. for example, cross-validation, right? So these are really about the process transparency. So we have tried to categorize the relevant content into these two categories. One is system transparency, one is process transparency. I think this perspective is benefiting from the Turing's report in the financial services. I think that's equally applied in general. So we happily just take like you said, not reinvent the wheel, just take what is out of there and just recast the materials in this perspective.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Your kind of interpretation of transparency here is kind of like demystifying, kind of explaining behind it, which I think is fantastic. It's interesting how many different courses have taken on these different interpretations.
Indeed, yeah, I think yeah, this is the core. This is one of the courses that have particular focus and also quite comprehensive coverage on this. For example, even for neural network, right? So we try to cast in the framework of the transparency. We will see that neural networks they are more like a semi-transparent. They are not totally black box because you know from the input how to get the output, right? It's just the other way is very difficult. So we also mentioned about this that is really benefiting from the definition framework from Turing.
Yeah, I'm blown away. I really am. I'm looking through it. It's a beautiful course.
Well, we just stand on the shoulders of many giants, right? So I think, yeah, really, that's it's really a very it's a golden time for open sources, and you can see that we really benefit. Even the book is free, right? So you do. I mean, of course, we bought like 6 copies, but for those who cannot afford, you can just download the book for free. I think this is really the best time for learning stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And yours is using Python primarily, aren't you, throughout?
Yes, yeah, we use Python, and all the I think majority of the code you can just run in Colab. You can click and open, and then you can simply run the code without any installation. So you can even do it in mobile phone. I have shown one of my clicks. You can learn it. You can take a mobile phone and you can run this on your mobile phone because it's actually running on the cloud. It's not using your local resources. So I think that's another very attractive feature of this design. So basically, that makes things much simpler for majority of users, particularly for those who have not who are beginners and they don't have much background in programming and so on. We also have comprehensive prerequisite materials to prepare those users who may not have sufficient mathematical background and programming background. We have Python basics. We just our objective is try to make it as compact as possible, right? So we know people are busy, they have limited time. So we try to keep only the essential materials so that we can spend the least time, but to get the most out of it. We also try to break down. That's also listen to Turing's advice. Try to break down into very small sizes, so that they can, on average, I think they may to finish each section, they may spend 1 hour. I think 1 hour also should be able to help most of users to go through the materials in one section. After that, we have these exercises with all the answers actually hidden. So basically, they can try it first, then they can check the answer. I think this is another nice feature of what we have built in. So I think this is extremely important from my 6 years of teaching, so that they can really do the work first, then they can check the answer with code examples. You can see all the running outcomes. So after that, it's all connected. You can go for the quiz and take the quiz to do an assessment of what you have achieved.
Incredible. No, looks, yeah. Like I say, I'm blown away, and it's fantastic how interactive.
Thank you for the kind words. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. Thank you.